Okay, so just a few sound bites really from some of our clients. As I said before, more and more public sector contracts, and obviously they're the ones in the construction sector that are probably most, well, they've probably got the most likelihood of happening at the moment. They all are starting to require proof of environmental management systems. It's no good anymore to say, we've got an environmental policy. Yeah, we're environmentally friendly. You need that proof. So start thinking about where you're going with that, because you need to be able to show that. I've seen some fantastic PQQs and tenders that some of our clients have written before we came and helped them implement an environmental management system. Lying would be an understatement, but I know sometimes it's needed to get the work. As we said, competition in tenders and PQQs is very tough. Anything you can do to make yourself stand out is a good thing. And thinking more sustainably and being more sustainable is definitely a good side of things. There is funding out there at the moment to help businesses in this area. Training, I don't know about in the West Midlands, but certainly in the Yorkshire and Humber, where our company is based, I think they're offering, the Chamber of Commerce are offering 60% reduction in training costs. So it is a really good time, if things are a little bit quieter and you've got a little bit of spare money, to utilise that and get your staff trained up in this area. And there's also funding for things like help with EMS implementation if you're a kind of quite a young company. So worth speaking to your chamber, worth speaking to your any kind of local business agency that you work with. I just want to highlight this point. The environment and CO2 targets in Europe are not going away. They're here to stay despite things being difficult. The government have confirmed that. So don't think, well, we won't bother to do anything because things are going to change. You know, they won't hold us to all this. They will. They've said they will, and I really believe that they're going to stick with that. And obviously the construction sector has a really big role to play in sustainability. As you'll see in a minute, I'll give you a few facts and figures. There's a huge amount that you can do as a sector to really make a big difference. I'm going to move on a bit because I know I'm speaking too much as usual. Right, what we're going to do now is actually focus on some steps and actions to sustainable construction. So as I said, here's a few facts, just to give you some food for thought. The construction sector accounted for 32% of total waste arisings in the UK in 2004. That's the same amount as all domestic households in the UK. Huge amount. It's kind of something similar now, by the way. I know that's a bit of an old statistic. 14% of all of that waste is unused primary material. It's those bricks that you over-ordered on that the lorry backed into and broke. It's those 4 extra toilets that you kind of ordered just in case, but actually weren't needed. Real, almost a crime really, that these kind of things are often ending up back in landfill when they haven't even been used. And a few years ago in the house building sector, it was estimated that for every 10 houses built, an 11th could be built for free from the amount of waste materials. That kind of issue then might not have been an issue when there was a lot of money sloshing around the sector, but now it really is, and we just can't afford to be that inefficient. And here we go, the energy needed to make 1 brick is enough to brew 2 pints of beer. I don't think I need to say any more. Okay, so we're going to look at steps and actions in 3 key areas. The environment, social, and the process side of things. We've only got time in this seminar to look at pollution and waste, but obviously those are 2 of the biggest issues. This afternoon, if you're still here, hopefully at 2:15, we'll come back and just run through those other ones. Okay, so starting with pollution. Some of the pollution that's generated by the construction industry, both on sites and actually getting all the materials and labour to a site. Air, obviously a really big issue. Like I said, use of machinery on site produces emissions. Getting all your labour to site, they'll probably go by car or public transport, either way reduces emissions. Maybe dust issues on site if you're demolishing things. So air is definitely a big issue. Noise. people don't often think about noise as pollution as such, but from a legal perspective it is. And obviously as a construction site, particularly large construction sites in urban areas, then noise can be a real issue. Water. Again, if you've got things like machinery on site that's needing diesel maybe, or if you might have other kind of chemicals on site that you're using as part of the building process, if that gets into any waterways, there might be a stream running by the site, or if it gets into any drains, another big issue. You could be liable to either the Environment Agency or to the water company that owns those drains. And really big thing, know your drains wherever you can. Biodiversity. Obviously we live in a world where we very much feel like we own it. We sometimes forget that we share this world with quite a lot of other people and things. So biodiversity, big issue. Obviously construction sites themselves, lots going on, lots that could potentially disrupt kind of any biodiversity on that site.